Every GTA fan is waiting for GTA 6, but one game that's considered quite underrated in the franchise is GTA Chinatown Wars. It recently turned 16 years old on March 17th, and I felt it deserved something special on its anniversary. So today, I'm going to highlight 10 unique features from Chinatown Wars that I'd love to see return in GTA 6 when it finally releases. Oh, and here's a quick fun fact before we begin. Did you know that GTA Chinatown Wars, released in 2009, is still the second most recent game in the GTA series? That's right. Since then, Rockstar has only released one mainline title, GTA 5. Hopefully that changes soon with the release of GTA 6. First of all, the most fun feature in the game has to be the drug dealing system. I'm not even joking, like you could buy and sell drugs in the game. Now that might not sound like a big deal at first, especially since almost every GTA game mentions drugs in some form. But when you consider that this game came out in 2009, it's kind of wild that it had a full-fledged drug dealing system built into it. You could trade 6 different types of drugs, like heroin, weed, coke, and more. The GPS would show you various drug dealers scattered around the city. Once you interacted with a dealer, their location would get permanently marked on your map, making it easier to return and keep doing business. Basically, you could build your network of drug dealers. Some missions even required you to transport drugs to progress, and instead of money, a few missions would reward you with drugs, which honestly was pretty cool. The game also showed you how much profit or loss you could make based on the market value of a particular drug. You'd get alerts when a dealer was urgently looking for a specific drug and was willing to pay top dollar for it. Sounds fun, right? But don't forget, dealing drugs is still illegal, so most dealers are found in hidden or hard-to-reach areas where cops are less likely to show up. Still, that doesn't mean you're safe. There are moments when you can get caught in the act, and if that happens, be ready for a police chase. And yeah, if you do get busted, the cops will take all your drugs, and you'll lose all that potential money, so it's smart to store your stash in a safe house whenever possible. Then, a unique feature was related to weapons assembly. For example, using a sniper rifle, which only appeared in 2 missions, required you to assemble it yourself before you could fire. It wasn't just a simple weapon switch. You had to put the pieces together manually. It might sound like a time-consuming process, but the level of interaction made it enjoyable. Another standout feature was the way vehicles were stolen. In most GTA games, stealing a car is as simple as smashing a window and driving off. But in Chinatown Wars, you had to go through a process depending on the type of vehicle. Older cars could be hotwired, while newer models required a more advanced approach. You had to connect your PDA device to the car to retrieve a code and start the engine. It made every car theft feel a bit more involved and realistic. Moving on from weapons and vehicles, the game world itself was packed with small but meaningful details. You could search through random garbage bins scattered across the city and find various items. Some were useless, like a dead fish, but others were helpful, like weapons or even drugs that could be traded. And speaking of drugs, remember the drug dealing system we talked about earlier? Rockstar took it a step further by making the game environment affect the in-game drug market. There were around 100 security cameras spread throughout the city. Destroying these cameras made it safer for drug dealers to operate, which meant cheaper prices for you. The more cameras you destroyed, the lower the drug prices would go. In fact, if you managed to destroy all of them, you could buy drugs for almost half the original price. That kind of environmental influence on gameplay was genuinely impressive. In most GTA games, you lose your wanted level by hiding from the police for a certain period. But in Chinatown Wars, there was another way. If you had a wanted level, you could reduce it by disabling police vehicles. For example, if you had 2 stars and you managed to destroy or disable 2 cop cars, either by ramming into them or using the environment to your advantage, your wanted level would go down by 1 star. Let's say you pushed 2 police cars into the water or caused enough damage that they became unusable. That would also remove 1 star from your wanted level. The more stars you had, the more police vehicles you had to take out to lower it. Now, I understand that some players may not like having an easier way to escape the cops, but if this kind of system were optional or integrated carefully, it could be a useful addition. Sometimes easing the difficulty in certain areas can improve the overall experience. Even GTA 5 allows players to skip some of the tougher missions, so having flexible mechanics like this isn't entirely out of place. I'm not exactly sure what Rockstar had in mind while designing this game, but it's clear they wanted players to commit crimes, a lot of them. If drug dealing wasn't enough, Chinatown Wars also allowed you to steal ammunition trucks. Yes, the same ammunition that usually sells you weapons in other GTA games. Here, you could steal their supply trucks. These trucks weren't hard to find either. They were scattered across the map, and stealing them was a relatively easy task, although not completely without challenge. You'd first have to deal with the driver, and trust me, he didn't go down easy. He carried a shotgun, and it could do serious damage if you weren't careful. But once you took him out, you could drive the truck back to your safe house and check what was inside. Most of the time, you'd find a useful weapon, sometimes one that would have been expensive or hard to find otherwise. I've rarely ever bought weapons in GTA games. You could call it cheating, but at the end of the day, it's still part of the gameplay experience. That's why I appreciated how well this feature feature was implemented. Stealing weapons from trucks felt more immersive and, in a way, more justified than just entering a cheat code. Another feature I enjoyed in the game was the cop computer. And no, I'm not making this up. If you managed to sneak into a police car without getting spotted, you'd unlock the option to access the in-car cop computer. And once you did, boom, you could start doing police missions around the city. Yep, you could play as a cop. You'd pick targets, chase down criminals, and dish out justice. It's a little ironic though, considering the average GTA player probably commits at least 15 crimes before breakfast. But hey, playing the good guy for once was pretty fun. A similar feature was also available in GTA 4, so it wasn't brand new, but Chinatown Wars made it stand out. Now, I don't usually dive into leaks, but since we're here, one interesting GTA 6 leak suggests that Jason, who might be the second protagonist, could be a cop. And if that turns out to be true, how cool would it be to see a modern version of this feature? Just imagine. During the day, you're stopping crimes as Jason, and at night, you're committing them as Lucia. A perfect balance, as all things should be.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
And we can't miss the minigames either. While most GTA titles have minigames, this one offered a few that stood out. For example, you could buy lottery tickets. But unlike in GTA 5, where the system feels unnecessary and checking results is a hassle, Chinatown Wars made it quick and rewarding. The game featured scratchable lottery tickets that would instantly reveal whether you'd won. And the prizes weren't just small amounts. You could win anything from $15 to, surprisingly, even a house. Another unique minigame was the tattoo shop. Considering the gang-focused theme of the game, it made sense and added some depth. It was first introduced in a mission where you recruit gang members and mark their loyalty by giving them tattoos. But beyond that, the tattoo shop could also be used to earn money. The income might not have been much, but the gameplay was engaging. You could aim to be precise and impress your customers with clean, sharp designs, or go in the opposite direction and mess it up entirely, making your clients regret their decision. Every mistake you made while tattooing caused more pain for the customer, and the game responded with some intense reactions and sound effects. It was a small detail, but one that added personality to the experience. And with that, those were some of the features I genuinely wish GTA 6 would adopt from Chinatown Wars. At the end of the day, I truly believe Chinatown Wars deserved way more recognition from the community. If you ever get a chance to play it, don't miss out. It's a hidden gem in the GTA series. Talking about GTA, some people think that GTA 6 will be woke. Click on the left video to know why we think it won't be woke. Also, we recently made a detailed comparison video between the PC versions of GTA 5 Legacy and Enhanced. That video can be found on the right. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more GTA content. See you until next time. Till then, adios.